You know,
What's going on, man?
I'm a little
It's Frank Starfire.
Nice to meet you.
And, I'm a simple
Welcome
guy,
back
and
to
I
the world
live
of
my
Frank
life by really
Starfire.
simple means, you know what I mean?
It's an
And,
amazing
I live by
place.
simple mottos and creeds.
Y'all, it's your boy Frank Starfire, and you are in the Just to Be Frank podcast. Welcome to this bitch. I know it's been a while. This is episode 4, and you got to pardon me. I'm still putting everything together, but you know it's been a while. I haven't spoken to you all in months, and you know a lot is going on. We'll talk about all that shit, you know, George Floyd and all that. But we're not going to talk about that today. And the reason for that is I'm here by myself. And the ultimate goal of the Just to Be Frank podcast is to, I'm still, you can see me trying to fuck with this light and shit. The ultimate goal of the Just to Be Frank podcast is to have conversations. And unfortunately, I can sit here all day and have conversations with the other personalities in my head, but you might be bored, or maybe not. I'm not entirely sure anymore. But either way, look, truth is, the Just to Be Frank podcast is about frank discussions, and unfortunately, I can't have frank discussions by myself. So, that being said, we'll talk about that. Everything, trust me. We'll talk about George Floyd and Breonna Taylor and Jesus. We'll talk about it all because a lot has gone down since my last episode, and my last episode was in reference to Ahmaud Arbery. So, you know, I'm not entirely sure what the status is with that right now, so I got to still look into some information. So, of course, as always, I don't want to just talk to y'all and not know what the fuck I'm talking about. That would be fucking not helpful to anybody, you know what I mean? As you can see, I ain't shaved in months, and I look fucking crazy. I did cut my hair, though, for those of you who know me and have not seen me in a while. Yeah. I don't have hair anymore. I'm growing it back though, as you can see. You know what I'm saying? I got my little mini fro, so I got my, you know what I'm saying, got my fist up and shit. But we do have a lot of things to discuss that we will certainly get to, and I can't wait for that. But I do want to have, like I said, I want to have guests in, and so what I did was it's important for me to promote local businesses, especially after this whole COVID bullshit and all that. It's necessary for me to promote local businesses, and I got with one and a couple of ladies by the name of Diane and Beth, and they were phenomenal. They run the Crystal Garden, which is up here in Mount Pocono. It's a crystal shop. They sell incense and various things of that nature, other spirituals and dream catchers and cool statues and things like that, man. Smudge sticks and all that. And yes, I'm one of those crystal people. I genuinely enjoy them. I think they're beautiful. I think they're really, really beautiful. Honestly, I mean that's about it. Really, I just think they're beautiful. I don't know if they have any healing or mystical energy or anything like that, but look. One thing you'll discover about me is I don't think there's anything out of the realm of possibility. So, you know, it very well could be. I don't know. But when I spoke to Diane and Beth, they were very honest and forthright and forthcoming in their wording and in their answers. And quite frankly, it was just a beautiful conversation. The only problem I have with the damn thing is the footage I got, I did not thoroughly enjoy it. Now, it wasn't particularly bad, but it wasn't particularly good either. And I know I could do better, and I will. But, you know, a couple things came into play in that. It really was my first time doing it with other people, so I was kind of nervous. You might not be able to see that, but I was. But it was it just didn't come out the way I wanted it to. It didn't have that panache that I really want to have and to give you all. You know what I'm saying? Like as I said, like right now I'm recording with the camera on my laptop because I don't have my other camera. I sent it in to get it. Well, I actually ordered a new one because the one I had, listen, that all plays into plays a factor into exactly why I didn't like the footage. But as I said, they were phenomenal. The store is awesome, and you should definitely go check it out. If you are into Reiki healing or meditation, things of that nature, go there. They'll do you up. Um, as I said, it was fun. It genuinely was, and but I didn't like the way the footage came out. I didn't like the setup of the shot and all that. And quite frankly, I know better. I do. But again, I was kind of nervous, and I just went with it. And you'll see that because I'm going to show it to you. Because I have 4 rules for the Just to Be Frank podcast, and I have to follow those same rules. Okay? That's be honest. Be yourself. Don't take anything personally. Have fun. That's all I ever ask of anybody who wants to be a guest or will be a guest. Those are the only 4 rules that I have ever asked of you. I don't want you to be on, you know what I'm saying? If you're a comedian, if you're an actor, whatever, you don't a musician, you don't have to be on, man. In my space, you're just you, man. Be yourself. You get to chill. It's an off day. You just get to talk. You're doing an interview, yes, but you get to talk to somebody like you just chilling. You know what I'm saying? That's the way it should be, and that's what I really want to bring across to you, my viewers. As for my viewers, and this is the first time I'm ever putting it out on YouTube, putting it out in the world, my face and all that. My only rules for you are, if it don't apply, let it fly. But if you take offense, I'm talking to you. Then you need to go look in the mirror and figure out exactly why I'm talking to you. Okay? And what that basically means is we will have very frank discussions. And my guest and I may not necessarily agree, because that's the goal of the Just to Be Frank podcast. I want to promote local business. I want to promote my friends' work, whatever it may be. And I want to have real talk with any and everybody. And I don't really give a fuck who you are, where you're from, what your walk of life is. You know what I'm saying? If you want to be a guest on the Just to Be Frank podcast, you bring your ass down to be on the Just to Be Frank podcast, man. Come on up to the mountains of Poconos and come chill in the nature for a while and just talk to your boy Frankie, baby. You know what I mean? That's all I ask. I don't want anybody to be uncomfortable. And I don't want anybody to feel like they will be ostracized for coming in. I'm not going to try to, it's not about attacking you or your views or anything like that. It's simply about having these frank talks, because what I find is that a lot of people sometimes have a cognitive dissonance about certain subjects, or they just haven't heard it from a perspective of somebody that's just going to be honest with them. It's not somebody who's a news, in the media, or shit, I really do need to shave. It's not somebody who's in the media, or somebody who they can say, oh, it's fake news. Nah, man, I'm just a cat from Queens, man. Frank Starfire. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. And again, this is a lot easier when I have somebody to actually talk to, because then I'm not stuck trying to figure out what the fuck to say, man. Because I can sit here and talk into the void all day, and if nobody checks what I'm saying, anybody that's listening to me could be misconstrued or misinformed, or, you know what I mean? Because look, I'm a really smart cat. I'm a really intelligent dude. However, I'm also smart enough and intelligent enough to know I don't know everything and I can always learn more. And that's another part of this because the ultimate goal is to learn and to teach. You know what I'm saying? So I want to talk to climatologists. I want to talk to forge masters. I want to talk to mainly I want to talk to people things I'm interested in. I'm interested in the climate. I'm interested in forging weapons and armor and shit like that. I'm interested in bow hunting and things of that nature. You know, because they're things that I don't know how to do that I probably want to do. And you know, I think that's it's very, you know, it's something we should all strive for, to try and challenge yourself to do new things that you might be initially uncomfortable with, but ultimately there is a great benefit to these things. Hunting, not trophy hunting, mind you, but hunting for food, that makes all the sense in the world to me. I can understand that. People have done it for fucking millions of years. I don't see any reason not to continue to do so. And there are many, many, many good reasons to advocate for hunting. In the same way that there are many, 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 many ways to disavow trophy hunting. And like, honestly, if you're a rich douchebag and you gotta go all the way to Africa to shoot a fucking lion or some shit, fuck you. And if I ever catch you, I'll castrate your ass. How about that? That's real. I mean, because you're harming a defenseless animal, and fucking up the ecosystem. You know what I'm saying? People who hunt for food, the overall goal is to never take more than what you need and make sure that there's still enough left over for others, and that the environment can still sustain itself and continue to replenish itself. And that's how nature is supposed to work, in balance with each other, with us and it. It doesn't work that way now, not often. Mainly because humans suck. Coronavirus. There's that shit still going on, which fucking... I can't tell you how fucking annoyed I am of wearing a fucking mask every goddamn where. I really am. I'm sick of that shit. I'm sick of fucking masks. But... if there was a time to rob a bank, that was the time. Don't go rob a bank and say Frank told me to do it. That's a lie. I'm making a joke. Although, half joke. But either way, yes. What I'm going to do is I am going to play you all the footage from the interview I did at the Crystal Garden so you could see it. Because... again, like I said, this was like my first real recorded interview and recording thing, so it didn't go exactly right. You know, I didn't have the right equipment. I just didn't have it right. I thought I could do more with what I had, and I'm always one of those guys. I can eat, you know, I don't mind adaptation. I don't mind, making something work, but it didn't work to the degree that I wanted it to. Excuse me. I have been up since 2 in the morning. What's today now? I guess is it Sunday yet, or is it still Saturday? I don't even know. All right, it's 9:41 on Saturday night. So yeah, I've been up since 2:00 this morning. So my batteries are starting to drain, but it's neither here nor there. Continue to talk to y'all for a minute. Give me a second. Let me spark my joint. I have no idea why I'm covering it in a place with no wind. Ooh. Weed, baby. It's good shit. Woo. There you go. Where was I? Oh, yes. So yeah, I'm gonna show you the footage, and I want you all to enjoy it, but I also want you to see that I'm being honest with you. You know what I'm saying? And recognizing that I fucked up a little bit. So I'll show it to you. But what I do hope you take from it is that uh, the interview did go well. Like me and the ladies, we had a good time. We, had some wine. We was chilling. It was a good time. But again, I think the camera was like a weirdly awkward angle, and it just again, it just wasn't exactly uh, what I wanted. But it was fun and informative, and it really did go well. I don't give a fuck. Like, I think it went well. I'm trying to figure out this light, man, so I don't look like, you know, crazy. And, like, I'm mad beige already, so, sitting in a light, I look like a fucking light bright human. I don't know. But either way, and we have a lot to talk about uh, since my last episode, which was my response to the Ahmaud Arbery killing. And I gotta tell you, I'm still flummoxed by that one, honestly. But we're gonna talk about George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, and all the rest, because unfortunately there is still arrest. We will talk about the Black Lives Matter movement, both the organization itself and the actual just movement, because to me they're two different things. Obviously, we'll talk about parlor tricks with, the presidential race that's going on right now and all the rest of that shit. Rest in peace to Ruth Bader Ginsburg, champion of justice and overall kind of cool ass old lady, man. She was kind of cool. I liked her attitude. She was one of those people that if they'd say she was a pistol. You know what I'm saying? That's what they say about her. She was really, really cool, man. I can't say I agree with all her judgments and decisions, but I did enjoy her as a human being from what I saw, and my condolences to her family and friends, and rest in peace. We lost a lot of people this year, man. Chadwick Boseman died. Like fucking Black Panther, we was all just Wakanda forever a couple years ago, and then all of a sudden, man, he died, and he had pancreatic cancer. Didn't tell anybody, didn't tell a soul. He just suffered in silence and fought and just and quite frankly did some of his best work. So I don't know, man. Shouts to him, his family. Shit, my inspiration for this motherfucking podcast, your boy Joe Rogan, and got the super Spotify deal. That happened since all this shit. Shouts to Spotify, because y'all do actually host my podcast. Thank you. I appreciate you. Shout out to Anchor.fm for distributing my podcast. I do appreciate you. Thank you very much. What else, man? Like I said, there is a lot to talk about, but there are a lot of things that I don't want to discuss in this episode. And again, I don't really want to just sit here on a soapbox and preach to y'all. I would like to actually sit down, have a guest, and have some conversations. Problem with that is, like right now, I don't have anywhere for them to sit. They'll be sitting in lawn chairs like I am right now. I don't even have a real chair yet. But, none of that is important. Okay. Having somewhere for them to sit that's kind of important. It's kind of important. Might be a little important. But other than that, the importance is in the values in the conversations. And again, sorry for yawning. I'm a little tired. I've been up for a very long time. And you'll sit there and you'll ask, yo, why the fuck have you been up since 2 in the morning? Well, that's the time my brain said, yo, Frank, wake the fuck up. And I haven't been asleep since. That might be a problem. Not entirely sure. But either way, I'm going to jabber on for a few more minutes and then I'll take you to the first set of footage with Diane and Beth from the Crystal Garden. Again, they were phenomenal. And look, I'm gonna be dead honest with y'all, man. Number one, and before I even begin with all this shit, and I see trolls and all this shit. Look, let me tell you something. Frank Starfire does not discriminate against any motherfucking body, be whatever their race, creed, color, gender. None of that shit matters to me. I don't give 3 flying fucks about any of that shit. I care about your brain and how you use it. That I care about. I don't care what your position in life is. You know what I'm saying? From the lowliest low to the highest high. Like, none of that shit matters. The only thing that matters to me is the truth and just building and you know what I'm saying? Generating knowledge. That's what I care about. So I don't care who you are, where you're from, what your walk of life is. I want to talk to you. You know what I'm saying? If you started in OnlyFans during the pandemic, I want to talk to you. You know what I'm saying? If you support Colin Kaepernick, I want to talk to you. If you don't support Colin Kaepernick, I want to talk to you. Just for the record, I kneel with Cap, but I also stand for the troops. I don't care about the flag and the anthem. None of that matters to me. And the reason I say that is simply because, I ain't gonna lie to you, I have not said the Pledge of Allegiance since the 2nd grade. I have not, like the concept of patriotism in its flawed sense, I guess makes no sense to me. So I don't care about it. I don't care about who's a patriot, because the truth is, if we were fucking really on it like that, Edward Snowden would be fucking hailed as a hero as opposed to having to hide in fucking Russia. Edward Snowden should be hailed as a hero because he fucking gave y'all information that allowed you to know that, yes, you were being spied on. Ain't that some shit? Ain't that a kick in the head? It is. But where is he? He's in Russia. Now, hey, written a couple books, made some bread, he's good. But at the same time, he ever set foot on American soil again, he's probably going to go to prison, and they're probably going to kill him. Because that's the, penalty for treason. Death. By firing squad or some shit like that. I don't know if that's a thing. I don't know if that's a thing. But yeah, man, I think that's fucking, it's a little crazy where we've gotten. I kind of expected this pandemic to be over by now, and I was totally wrong. Coronavirus. I tell you, I hope this shit lasts longer than Cardi B and Offset's marriage. But I'm being facetious. I know they're going through a tremendous time right now, and quite frankly, they don't need people cracking jokes on them. All that, the Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith entanglement shit. Like, all right, see, now here's the thing. I don't care about that. So I'm probably not going to address that. However, I will say this. She should not be applauded for her actions. Jada Pinkett. She should not be applauded for her actions. However, and you know what? What I'm about to say is going to sound fucking retarded, considering the fact that they posted it on their Facebook live shit. but that genuinely ain't nobody else's business. Honest. Like, no, I don't need to know that much about them. I don't even know that much about most people. Any people. I shouldn't even say most people. Any people. I should not know that much about anybody. Yet, here we are. I don't know. But either way, what I'm going to do now is take you over to the first set of footage for the Crystal Garden. And you're in the Just to Be Frank podcast. Frankly speaking, I hope you're having a fucking blast of a time. I'm smoking my joint. I'm going to pour some whiskey and drink that. If I still have any, I'm honestly not entirely sure. But either way, I'll be back in a moment. Enjoy the video. Enjoy the first part of my interview with the ladies from the Crystal Garden, located up here in beautiful Mount Pocono, right on 611, across the street down the block from the Casino Theater, which is apparently a landmark over here. It is real nice though. They got some they got some cool ass shit in there. But yeah, enjoy, and I'll be back. Abracadabra. And speed. We're recording. Hello, ladies. How y'all doing? Yeah. Welcome to the Just to Be Frank podcast. You are a part of history, as this is my very first podcast with guests. Thank you for allowing me to do it in your store. I do appreciate it. Don't worry about the right eye. This one's fucked up. Look at the left one. But before we do into that, let me just introduce you ladies. This is Beth. This is Diane. They are the proprietors of the Crystal Garden, in which we are currently residing at the moment. So, welcome. Thank you very much. We appreciate you ladies for being here. This is the Just to Be Frank podcast, where we have frank discussions about any and everything that's going on in our lives, in the world, and whatever it is. The only rules that we have on this podcast are very simple. Be yourself, have fun, be honest, don't take anything personally. Tell it like it is, and just be yourself. You know what I mean? That's all. The only rules. Everything else is up in the air, so talk your shit, and let's bring people in and get people into the Crystal Garden. Now tell me, why did you open the Crystal Garden? And speak loud and clear into my mic.
So I've always been I've always loved the mystical arts. So I decided about 2 years ago that I didn't want to work for anybody anymore, but I wanted to open up my own spot. I did work at Real Estate Bookshop in the city, and I worked there for about 2 years. And then from there, I just, I started doing my hobbies, and it just turned into making bracelets and then having my own store.
You went from making bracelets
to making my own store, yeah.
That's a hell of a leap, but that's the leap we all want
to do it.
Yeah, man, that's the leap we all want to make. Because I hate working for other humans. Because they always have rules that I don't necessarily like.
Rules are just for followers, right?
Exactly.
So I'm not going to follow orders or anything.
Somehow that's not surprising. See, you got that look of mischief. You know what I'm saying? You got that mischief making look. You have that.
Thank you. I'll take that as a compliment.
You should. That is indeed one. All right. So you're from New York originally.
Originally, yes. I've been there for about 30 years of my life.
Okay. Where are you from originally?
Originally from Colombia.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. That's dope. Colombia is a little
far.
Yeah, South America.
South America. It's a lovely country.
Is it? Yeah, you say that with some trepidation.
I love my country, but I love the world even more.
It's fair.
So I love exploring. I just can't stay in one place, honestly.
So how long you gonna be in Pennsylvania? Because the first time I spoke to you, you were on a road trip.
I have a 10-year mark.
You have a 10-year mark? I try to do 5 to 10 years
really?
myself. Yeah.
Wow.
I lived 34 years in New York, and now I'm like, I'll never live there again. I'll never live there again. Visiting is okay. I don't think I'll ever live in New York.
I think a lot of things changed. Let's say after September 11th, the blackout, and now the pandemic.
I remember all those things.
No one wants to be in the city anymore, especially after those catastrophic things that happened September 11th and this pandemic. It's like being in the city, it's just like being trapped.
Yeah.
it's hard to get up.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. And what about you, Beth? Where are you from originally?
So I kind of moved all over. I was born in upstate New York, and then I
Okay.
moved to Chicago, and then I moved to Atlanta, and then North Carolina, and then Arlington, Virginia, and then outside of Philadelphia, and then I have landed in the Poconos. And this is the longest I've ever been someplace. I've been here for 15 years
Oh,
now.
my.
And this is the first place I've ever had any sort of roots. It's
Okay.
because I have kids. So
Okay.
now
I'm going to say this, and I'm sorry to be the one to break it to you. But look, y'all look like y'all been anywhere 15 years and you want to do that. My mama told me you don't ask a lady her age, so I'm not gonna.
I'm not shy
That
about
don't
it.
matter. I can't ask you. My mom's still scared enough of my mother to not ask a woman her age. Like, you know, I don't ask her age, her weight, or go through her purse. Those are the rules I live by.
Or her bra size either.
I mean, I can kind of guesstimate that. I mean, I can guesstimate that. You know what I'm saying? Oh, it takes, you know, there's varying degrees of that, you know. We're not going to be fresh, young lady. No, that's fantastic, man. All right. So you run this Crystal Guard. You have all any. Hey, what up, y'all? And we are back. And no, it's not actually a week later, and I didn't change my clothes just for this. No, it's not a week later. It's the same night. I'm lying. I took a couple days to try and edit some video together. I can't lie to you, as this is my first kind of go around on this. I'm still figuring it out. So I apologize if some of the footage is a bit choppy. I apologize for any of the sound that might be off. It's a little difficult, but I'm working it out. Like I said, I'm trying to figure it all out, and it's just going to take a little bit of time. That's all. In the meanwhile, let me ask you this. I hope you enjoyed the footage from the Crystal Garden. I'm fucking with wires and shit. Don't mind me. I hope you enjoyed that first piece of footage. Now you understand why I wasn't super fond of it. It's only because just as we got to the meat and potatoes of it, shit cut the fuck off. That annoyed me. See, I didn't understand the parameters of what my camera could do. So honestly, it's my fault. I'm okay with it. But the show must go on. So here we go. And again, still haven't got my chair, still haven't got the couch. So with that in mind, and I hate to fucking do this because I hate being a shill. But if you'd like to help your boy Frank Starfire out and contribute to his obtaining of goods to help you all, you can donate directly on the link on the wherever you're listening. If you're on Anchor.fm, Spotify, whatever, there is an option for you to contribute, so please do. If you would like to privately do so, or use Cash App or what have you, email me at frankstarfire696@gmail.com, and we can figure that out. As I said, this is new for me, and I'm genuinely trying to make this as much of a great experience for you as it is for me. I actually am on the hunt for a co-host because I recognize that I may very well need one. And once again, I have forgotten to turn my motherfucking notification sounds off, so let's do that now, because, yeah. let's do that. But yeah, no, definitely. If you and for those of you listening, you're not watching this on YouTube, you're actually listening on Anchor or Spotify or what have you. I do appreciate you. Unfortunately, as evident, you could not see the video footage that was put together. So for you, my listeners, I'll have a second part to this that has that that has the audio for what you didn't see on the video. So I'll definitely give y'all that as well, because I was smart enough to record it audio and visual, but the problem is I'm no technophile like that, so I'm still trying to figure out how to sync the sound and get the mics going right, and echo and blah 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 blah. As I say, hey, learning curve, baby. I ain't perfect at this. But be that as it may, we're gonna keep going, man. So I hope you enjoyed the footage from the Crystal Garden. Again, I enjoyed sitting with them ladies, and there is more footage. I'm gonna go right back to it. I just wanted to come on here and pay some bills. You know what I'm saying? I was serious earlier. There are a lot of different guests I want to have some conversations, and I was very serious. If you started an OnlyFans during the pandemic, my question to you is, do you plan on continuing after? Was your significant other okay with it? I have questions. And hopefully I can get somebody to come and sit down and be a guest and talk about it. What's funny? I mean, before I send y'all back to the Crystal Garden, it's interesting. I think that the concept of the OnlyFans and what Pornhub has done, I think it's done wonders for not only women's self-esteem and screw you if you think porn is degrading or whatever. Look, let me tell you something. There are more women in control of porn now than ever before. So I'm all for it, ladies. Do your thing, man. Listen, you will find I am firmly okay with sex workers. I think sex work should be legalized and regulated, and that should be you should be able to pay taxes on that shit and all that. But I'm also kind of I'm an out the box thinker. You know what I'm saying? But I think look, it's legal in Nevada. If it's regulated and the ladies are tested and they're healthy and they're of sound mind and to do it, and then I don't see why the fuck not, man. Word up. Get them strippers some damn health insurance, man. They need help. Word up. On the splits and shit, that shit is hell on your hips. Knees and shit, dropping it like that all the fucking time. That shit hard on your knees and ankles now. I feel you. You know what I'm saying? You're going to need a hip replacement at some point. You know what I mean? Take advantage now. Listen to Frankie, baby. I'm smart. I don't mean to slurp in your ears, but that's Bustelo. That's all I drink. That shit good. So yeah, let me get y'all back on over to the ladies of the Crystal Garden. But like I said, if you would like to donate to the Just to Be Frank podcast, there is a donate button right there at the little bottom of the screen there. If you would like to promote your work here on the podcast, email me. Producers are standing by. I'm producers, so hit me up. Listen, if you'd like to, sponsor a segment, if you'd like to sponsor the podcast, hit me up. We can talk about it. I'm not good at the shilling for money thing. I ain't gonna lie to you. If I had my way, I'll just take any money I earn and just do it myself. I don't like asking for money. I think it sucks. I am saying. But hey, I'll take cryptocurrency too. I'll take some Bitcoin. Yeah, I'll gladly take Bitcoin. That was Maverick. Maverick's loud. It's my dog though. It's my homie. You know what I mean? But yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I don't like being a shill for money, but I'll certainly promote your work, your product, your, whatever. And I'll even write you a fantastic promo too, just to be fun about it. Just because I like to have fun. That's all it's about, man. It's all about fun. But let me send you back on over to the ladies of the Crystal Garden, and I will check back within you in a minute. Boom. Okay, I'm back. Thank you again, ladies, for joining us. Again, I am with Diane and Beth at Crystal Garden, and I'm learning a whole bunch about things I didn't even know I was going to learn about. But before we get into it, because I know you wanted to get back to something, I do want to ask this, right? You're not, is there a license or a school you go to learn this, or is this something you just come into?
As far as Reiki?
Yeah, no, I mean, as far as knowing crystal healing and things of that nature, is that something you actually go to school for, or?
Well, basically, once you have the love and passion for it, you'll be reading for the rest of your life. Okay, so basically when you had a passion for crystals and Reiki and all that stuff, when it comes to crystals, you'll be reading about it for the rest of your life.
Okay.
You pick up one crystal and you pick 1,000 more. Once you learn one, you definitely want to continue on learning and stuff like that. I've been doing crystals for about 10 years.
Okay.
So I'm constantly reading and practicing with them and meditate with them. I sleep with them. Sometimes it helps with your astral dreaming, prophetic dreaming, all that stuff. So it's really interesting. So with crystals, you can either wear them, meditate,
Got my Leo stone on.
They're amazing
tight bracelet I'm rocking.
They're amazing tools, and once you pick up one crystal, it becomes an addiction.
It kind of does,
It
yeah.
does,
I remember my aunt used to live in D.C. and there was a beautiful crystal shop down there in Georgetown that we went into, and they had something very similar to that, and it was, I mean, this was late 80s, so yeah. But all right, so if, say a person has cancer,
Okay.
you're not going to sit there and try and heal them with crystals for that.
No, I mean, obviously, there is crystals that do help with the physical pain, with the radiation.
Okay.
Like, for instance, smoky quartz helps with the radiation. Malachite helps with the pain.
Okay.
You know, there's so many crystals that can help you with different things. Not that it's gonna like heal, but also, I'll be honest with you, once you set your intention, you can do anything because you have, as a person, as a human being, as a spiritual being, you have the power of changing things around, even with your own mind.
Of course.
So it could be with crystals, it could be with your own mind, or with water. Anything that you set your mind to, you have the power to change it.
But you take the responsibility to be able to say to somebody, hey, you know, you have a disease, you go to your regular doctor to heal, treat that. I'm here to treat your spirit and your soul. Is that an accurate?
I'm actually here to enhance to whatever is going on with your life.
Right.
I don't take the responsibility of being a healer.
Okay.
I'm just more like someone who will help you and guide you along the way. But
That's fair.
I don't call myself a healer,
Okay.
but I am here to help people.
That is a good way to keep yourself from lawsuits, I'll tell you that.
And that too. Because honestly, there's so many people out there saying that they're healers.
Right, and that's what I
And I
said
really
earlier.
don't want to jump into that wagon either.
Yeah.
You know what though, you have to that point, and I think this is a really important differentiation, is that I can't heal you.
You have to heal yourself.
I can create a space around you that can help facilitate or make it easier for you to heal yourself. But there is absolutely no healing that I can ever do for you that you can't do for yourself. And not even can't do, like I can't heal you.
All right.
You have to heal yourself.
All right.
Exactly.
All right. I'm gonna tell you right now. You must not personally do with that. I can't stuff. No. No, but I understand. No, I understand exactly. No, I understand exactly what you mean, and I appreciate and respect the fact that you'll take that stance. Because as we said earlier, there are some charlatans out there that would gladly say, "Yeah, give me all your bread. I'll make sure you don't have cancer no more."
Well, I think some people are trying to take you, but some people genuinely believe that too. You know, I don't think it's always a malicious thing, but I think it's a little bit of an egotistical thing.
Okay.
That
Well, the ego can be. I think the ego can be malicious without intending to. Sometimes.
sure, it's very tricky.
Yeah.
You know, it tricks all of us every day. So, you know, it's,
So what is the id?
Yeah.
The id versus the ego. That's what we've come across in our life basically, is to be the id without the ego. I guess does that make sense?
Yes.
yeah. So you have your spirit and your soul, and then you have your ego, and like they can work in concert together, but there's a balance that
Balance
you
in
have
all
to find.
things.
And so to me, like Reiki was my gateway drug into spirituality.
Okay.
You know, other people have yoga.
Right.
So people just have their way in that makes sense to them. That it just becomes their own personal spiritual practice that opens them up to different things. Right?
That's a wonderful way of looking at it, because I said that, and that's a responsible way, because if I'm going to go to somebody who's going to try, who claims they can heal me, then I'm going to be skeptical. And I feel that way about doctors too. I know a lot of dumb doctors. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because you got a degree doesn't mean you're, that's why they call it a practice, I guess, because y'all still trying to figure shit out. You know what I'm saying? But I think surgeons have to have some form of God complex. I think naturally they have to have some form of ability to be able to just say, nah, fuck that, I can do this. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's a tricky thing at times. So when it comes to this, and Reiki healing and crystal healing, aqua healing, whatever, to take the stance of it's not me healing you, it's you. I'm just facilitating that process. Mm-hmm. That's a fantastic stance to have, and that's very responsible, and I appreciate it.
it's no different than crystal healing to me, because it's just like, you know, maybe you feel differently about this, but to me, holding a crystal, or whether it's in your physical presence or whether you're just tuning into the frequency of it, and it's not actually physically in front of you, again, it's the resonance and the vibration that you are trying to, it's the law that you're not going to have two things in different resonance that stay this far apart. They find a balance. So if I've done my work as a Reiki practitioner or as a crystal healer, you know, crystal practitioner, I don't know how you heal them.
Practitioner words.
Yeah, that works. Then it's pulling the two, you know, it's not like I'm like, okay, I'll lower my vibration. It's more like, I am right here, come meet me.
Meet me here.
Yeah.
Let's find the balance.
Exactly. And that's where the healing can take place. And that's what I mean by saying holding the space so that you can heal yourself.
More.
Because if you're not feeling well, it's natural that you're going to feel like at a lower resonance or a lower vibration. And so being around anybody with a higher vibration is naturally going to make you
It should,
be in
well,
a better
theoretically,
place to heal yourself.
well, theoretically it should, but that's where I think the ego comes into play, and sometimes fear. I think fear is the harbinger of all negativity. So that any fear that each of us had, that skepticism or cynicism, would be what stops them from achieving that balance. Because, you know, you hear somebody tell you that they're going to do this, and your natural mind, especially as, you know, normal in modern society, we think evil and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So in modern society, we're quick to say, no, that's bullshit. But is it? You know what I'm saying? And I think that's the ultimate question. So like you said, you have to come with an open mind and an open heart.
You said it best. You have to come and surrender.
You have to surrender.
You have to surrender.
You have to
Like,
surrender to
because if you ask how,
Mhm.
when, why,
And you're not ready.
you're not
ready.
surrendering.
That's it. Huh. So, but shouldn't you be questioning?
Well, why not go with the question, why not?
Well, that's fair.
You know, and see what happens. Like, if you're scared something bad is going to happen, fine, don't do it. Like, it's not for you. You know, find something else. I think we're getting visitors.
I, no doubt.
That's my phone.
Wait. Wait.
I think we just spoke truth.
That was the truth bell right there. It told us what it was. Like, you're honestly right. All right. Holy.
Sorry about that.
Oh, you're good. I've learned that Halloween is one of your favorite holidays.
It is. I like it better than Christmas.
Well, me too. But I haven't really
Uh-huh.
been a Christmas guy for a very long time. But I'm a proud pagan, so I'm okay with Saturday night.
You know what I think it is? It's because it's so commercialized. It's actually kind of depressing. And I don't look forward to it.
Speak up a little bit.
I say Christmas is so commercialized that it's actually, I find it kind of depressing.
That's fair. I do
I
too.
think if you have kids and it's different, and then you can celebrate with them, you can be happy. But if you don't have any kids, I just...
I've been
you know,
single a
just-
long time. I ain't got no kids, so
Well, there you go.
this sucks.
It's more
Christmas
for kids.
sucks. Yeah, it's for kids. I mean, but you know, sometimes you see that goodwill towards everything happening, and it brings a tear to your eye. And then other times, people are just dicks. Like I'm trying to make a concerted effort to not talk about parlor tricks, politics during this, because that just brings negativity into this space. But I guess I kind of want to ask, like, what is your stance on politics and how things are going? And trust me, I don't think you're a bad person if you're like, no, I'm going with Trump. I don't think you're a bad
You're
person.
going to have a lot of dislikes after this.
I don't give a shit, man.
Well, my stance is I don't watch the news. I don't pay attention to any politics. I think it's a dying system. I
You
think
are
the
smarter.
economy's going away. I
You are
think
smarter
everything.
than everybody else.
You can't have creation without destruction.
I agree.
We are in the destruction phase,
Okay, I
and
like
so
that.
everything is getting leveled.
Well, I call it
It's-
the Atlantis time.
Mm.
We're facing the Atlantis time.
That's a hell of a way to
Destruction.
put that, because all civilizations fall, especially those who
And
think
this
they're
one's
greater
falling,
than others.
right? Yeah.
Well,
It's out of balance.
it certainly is,
It
but
is.
now where's the overwhelmed? Where's the underlying place where that starts? I think what has to happen in this country, I think there needs to be reparations, forgiveness, and I think we need to understand and accept that some of the things that people are experiencing are valid and true, and that
they need to really care about the people, because this country is actually a corporation. Rather than a United Nation, it's a corporation.
That's
how I see it.
But you're right. That is exactly right. This is a freaking corporation, and it is.
This is not a nation.
And no.
It's so divided.
Well, it is, and
especially
I think
now with the pandemic.
right. Well, and you keep referring to it as a pandemic.
It's a pandemic.
You keep referring to it as a pandemic.
It's so organized.
So you think it's going away November 7th?
So yeah, but even after that, I don't know. I have a feeling that we might have sad Christmas. We might. Hopefully, I'm wrong. That we're not going to be quarantined. God forbid.
I mean, but see, here's the thing. Now, I can't lie. I think we've been fairly fortunate up here. We're in the Pocono Mountains.
We are, yeah.
So, and I think I got out of New York right time 3 years ago. But, I largely think that we're.
Welcome back to the Just to Be Frank podcast. I am your host, as ever, Frank Starfire. So yeah, man. As you and you see what I was talking about in the very beginning. Unfortunately, like I said, I didn't recognize the parameters of what the camera could do. I thought it could film more than it could. So that's on me, man. But it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to bemoan it. And quite frankly, like I said, I enjoyed every minute of it. Those ladies were awesome. And it was a fantastic experience, man. It really was. As you can see, I'm very honest. Everything is coming from right here. So I'm not, if I pause for a moment, that just means I'm gathering my thoughts so that the next words that come out of my mouth don't sound like fucking utter foolishness. Because I can't lie to you, I might have a tendency to do that. It's not purposeful, but first thing that comes across my brain is usually the first thing that comes out of my mouth. And that's not always the best thing. It could be rude sometimes, honestly. But hey, I've gotten better at that over time, And as you can see from the footage, I've got a shit ton of gray hair. I ain't dying a motherfucking thing. I am pushing 40 years old. I'm blessed to say that I am almost 40 years old. I made it this far. Man? So, next thing is all about health and wealth, man. Health is wealth. So, that's what I'm trying to do, man. I'm going to keep smoking weed, though. Believe that. Watch it when I mention it in the joint, in the footage. You'll see when I talk about how I smoke weed in my studio. Beth is sitting there like, nah. But on the low, I think she's like, I want to say yes, but I can't. My kids might see this. Listen, young people, this is explicit content. You should not be watching this. The fact that I know you are watching this is testament to, how foolish the child, parental blockage and all that shit is. Because, half the time you can apparently you can Google how to bypass it, That's fucking crazy, man. I was talking to, we had some friends over for dinner the other night, and they were telling us how they caught their son trying to bypass it. It's hilarious, man. It's funny. We didn't have these things when I was growing up. There was no parental control shit. There was no. I think that when they had the V chip, that was like the illest thing. And I remember. Let me get a little personal real quick. I'm gonna tell you a little story. All right, now. When I was on my other podcast, if y'all remember, I was on one called Foundation 101 Presents the Black Codes. And whenever I would tell a story, everybody, the motherfuckers was looking at me all the time like I was fucking mad. Like, yo, you said or did what? Go back. They're on YouTube, man. Go back and watch them episodes, man. Them shits are hilarious. You know what I'm saying? I can't lie. But, so, oh, man. we did we did a lot of dumb shit, believe me. And you know what? Now saying all that, I don't forgot the fucking story I was about to tell. Ain't that some funny shit? I smoke a lot of pot, apparently. Maybe too much, you might say. It'll come back to me. I swear to God, it will, because I'm still laughing about it. Oh, man. I have to remember what I was talking about. Maybe we'll do that. All right. I remember now. I had to really pause it for a second to think about this. I remember now. All right. So I used to remember when you had the cable boxes, you had the authorize button. Well, I authorized a shit ton of porn at my grandma's crib one or several weekends. And when she asked me about it, and this is probably one of the only times I actually lied to my grandma's, I still kind of feel bad about it. And to this day, I know for a fact that she did not believe a word of the shit that I was saying at all. I know it for a fact. I know it to be true. I said, "Oh yeah, no, I heard about that. Yeah, people will sometimes like take your cable wire and splice it with their own so they can take free cable from you, but don't, and do what they want on it." Now, I know that's actually a thing that occurs, but I guarantee you it wasn't happening in her freaking in her co-op. I guarantee that. Everybody named Mama there was old and probably couldn't figure out how to program their VCR. And yes, they had VCRs. If you don't know what a VCR is, you're not old enough to be watching this fucking video. Turn it off. Take your ass to bed. Oh, man. And to this day, I still feel kind of bad about that. My grandma, luckily, is no longer with us. I know she's listening now, technically. And, she already knew, when she died, she knew that shit instantly. Like, oh, please, who cares? But still, I could just picture that disapproving look of hers and with that furious head shake. To this day, I can picture that shit. Oh, man. Yeah. You're going to learn a lot about me. And one thing you're going to learn is I did a lot of dumb shit as a kid and an adult. Still now, yeah, sometimes, I kind of temper it now. I try to limit my dumb, stupid activities, but I can't lie. Sometimes it gets the better of me. But we'll share. Sometimes I'll share. Because, as you see, I'm rather honest. I don't hold anything back. Some people keep telling me that I should have a filter. I keep telling them, go fuck yourself. I don't need a filter. People need to hear honesty. But that's why I asked the questions I asked Diane and Beth, because see that segue there worked. TV 101. See, I can't see out this eye, but I can wink it. See? I got you. That's why I was able to ask those questions, because I want to get honest truth, and they didn't, like they said, I don't call myself a healer, and again, that's the best way, because the truth is, once you do that, once you call yourself that, then people will look to you for that. And like I said multiple times in the interview with them, there are a lot of charlatans and fake, phony motherfuckers out there that would love to take advantage of people like that. And I find that untenable. You know what I'm saying? That people would be... Well, first of all, I find it untenable people still fall for it in this day and age. Uh, but I also find it foul that people will prey on people in that fashion. Or anyway, like people shouldn't be preyed upon in any way, and they do it in all sorts of ways. Um, but if you're honest enough to say, hey, no, listen, I can't heal you with crystals if you have cancer or diabetes or something like that, you need to go to the doctor and you need to think about your diet and, the things you take in your body to try and mitigate these things. Uh, then and if you want, I can provide you a safe space for you to channel your mind into healing your into helping you heal and keep you positive. See, now that is an acceptable thing to me, and I can fully support that. And that's what they do there. They provide you a space for you to heal yourself. And I think that since it is mind over matter, you can indeed utilize your brain power and will to heal yourself, but you need that positive space and presence to be able to do it. And they provide that there at the Crystal Garden, and I think that that's a fantastic thing. Got a couple more little shots with them. I'm going to send you on back to them for a moment, and we'll be back. Um, but it's funny though, man. Like because I went there because a friend of mine told me about it. I was looking for a smudge stick, and as soon as I got there, the first time, Diane, she's the owner. She wasn't there. She was on a road trip, traversing the plains, baby, and she said, so I got to meet her mom and her dad who worked there with her, and that's so totally cool to me because I think it's always a blessing when you can work with your family and all that, and they support her business. You know what I'm saying? And I think that that's a fantastic thing, man. More families should support their children's endeavors. You know what I mean? you know, I unfortunately have no more parents, so I kind of just do what I want. To a degree, I mean, I'm not doing very devious things, but I mean, I film a podcast, man. I remember I was having a conversation on Facebook with a friend of mine, and she brought up a very valid point, something that I totally agree with, and it was like, yo, everybody popping up with these podcasts, like, yo, who the fuck are you to film podcasts? You know what I'm saying? Entertainment is hard. Entertainment business is difficult. And I 100% agree with you. I 100% agreed with her because her chosen profession is entertainment. Now, this is a podcast, and I guess, yes, this is entertainment. I'm not trying to entertain you with the podcast. This podcast is for me to sit down and have conversations that I feel like can be enjoyable for everyone to have with me. That's what I'm doing. I have no illusions of grandeur to this. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not my ultimate goal to be the next Joe Rogan or whatever. I'm just trying to be Frank Starfire, man. I like being me. I'm good. But it is my goal to reach people and teach people and learn from people and nature, because that shit's always teaching you something. And that's why I have the Just to Be Frank podcast, because frankly speaking, I feel like it's necessary. I feel like this world needs to hear this Doom speaking to it. But that's not to say, again, I want, like the guests I want to have on, like my man Sean Wallace. which will be the agree to disagree segments. You know what I'm saying, or episodes, which I would think are always fun because I love having the point counterpoint with him. He's got a very fantastic mind. His mind is sharp. You know what I mean? We'll talk music and entertainment with DJ Coach Cap and Cappyland Records. We'll talk all sorts of things with the Vampire Vega and Dwayne Rodriguez. So I've got a few people I definitely want to have on. Some you're gonna be surprised about. Some you'll be like, what the hell? Hey man, look. At the end of the day, it's all about progression, and I have an idea of how I want this to work. So I need your help to do it. So do me a favor, like, subscribe, share. Like, subscribe, and share, man. That's all I need you to do. And tell me what you want. Talk to me. You the people, man. I want to hear from you. Come positive. Criticism's okay. Don't be a troll, man. I have no truck with that shit, and I'll just ignore you. I ain't got time for that shit. But come, please talk to me. You know what I mean? Let me know what's on your mind. And again, if you want to be a guest on the Just to Be Frank podcast, I'll leave the email in the description. It's also Frank Starfire 696 at gmail.com. Frank Starfire is spelled Starfyre because I'm different. That's Frank Starfire 696 at gmail.com. If you want to be a guest, if you have ideas, if you want to promote your work, if you want to sponsor the Just to Be Frank podcast, definitely take sponsors, man. Within reason now. I'm not gonna, sponsor something, have a sponsor of people that, or a company or whatever, or a product that I wouldn't use. So come correct, man, because I will. Okay? And yeah, man. That's it. I'm enjoying this. I like talking to y'all, man. That's why this exists, man. I'm glad. I ain't gonna lie. I'm glad. I'm mad and glad both at the same time that YouTube was not around when I was a kid, because if you could capture all the dumb shit that I did, oh my God, I don't know if I'd be able to live half of that shit down. There was one time my face planted trying to hop over a fence. It was fucking hilarious, man. Oh my God, I'm glad we didn't have cell phone footage back then. Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna send y'all back to the Crystal Garden for a moment, and I'll come back and speak to y'all in a minute. Y'all have a blessed one. All right, welcome back to the Just to Be Frank podcast. I'm with Diane and Beth. I appreciate you for joining me here at the Crystal Garden. It's a lovely place right here on 611 in Mount Pocono. So we've been talking about the Reiki healing. We talked about crystals and all that. You all have events here.
Yep.
Tell people about it.
So this Sunday, September 13th, we will be having a Mommy, Daddy, and Me meditation. That will be $10 for each adult, and the kids are free.
Okay.
So basically, it's going to be moving meditation, teaching kids. Beth will be actually guiding that meditation, and she will bring her kids.
So I bring my son. We have some cool meditation cards, and we do some different stuff just to keep everybody going. And so it's great for kids and also good for people just with short attention spans. So
that's fair.
Either works.
Okay. All right. What else you got?
And on September 20th, we actually have Reiki 1. So we're gonna have Jogan. He's been a professor of Reiki for over 30 years. And he actually comes from the lineage of the the actual Usui Reiki. And you will be teaching that Reiki 1. And then on October 18th, you will be teaching Reiki 2.
Okay.
And on November 15th, he will be teaching Reiki 3. So we're going to have all levels of Reiki 1, 2, and 3.
Okay.
So anyone who needs to catch up at a certain level can definitely catch up. And I definitely do recommend Jogan because I've also been his student.
Okay.
So he's still my
We don't have to get him on here.
Yeah,
We
we
have
would
to get
love
him
to
on
be
here.
here, actually.
Yeah.
And we also on September 18th, we're gonna have a psychic medium. Her name is Josephine, and she definitely kicks ass. So if you want to know, she reads the tarot,
All right.
and she does mediumship work. So
All right. I've got to ask.
go for it.
She's psychic. How psychic is she? Because if you can't Jean Grey with me, I don't think you're psychic. You know, you understand what I mean? Like, I expect a psychic, when I think of somebody who's psychic, I expect somebody who has the ability of telepathy.
Oh.
That's what I think of as psychic abilities. Now, I read a book when I was a kid. This is how I learned hypnosis. I learned a book, Hypnosis for Beginners.
Okay.
Forget the author. But I read it, learned it, love it, have performed hypnosis on myself, no regrets. I think if you can open your mind to hypnosis, I think then psychic development is a thing that you can do. But how do you know somebody's actually a psychic? Because again, you got those people out there who talk about they can bend spoons and all this type of
That's
stuff.
it. Isn't that psychokinesis?
Yeah, that would be psychokinesis, yes. But
Well,
along the
that's
same
along-
lines and
it's along the
veins,
same
like,
lines.
yeah.
But that's a different type of effort.
All right. So what is she? Is she a mind reader or?
She's not a mind reader.
Okay.
She actually, she is a channeler.
Okay.
And she's a medium, so she can definitely download the information, whether it's through her spirit guides or the spirit's guides that she's reading.
All right, do you believe her totally?
Well, I definitely had a psychic tarot card with her, and she is amazing.
I mean, listen. I know I've experienced ghost phenomenon, and we live in Pennsylvania. It's the most haunted state.
It's definitely haunted.
Yeah, it's definitely haunted. It's the most haunted state in the world, in the United States. Gettysburg alone has so much psychic feedback energy, and as an empath now, I talk about as an empathic individual, I can feel people's energy around like that.
Current energy.
Current.
So she's just reading
Past
energy. Past, present,
Present, future.
future.
Right.
It's just a
But
different
the
wavelength.
future isn't defined, and
How do you-
the future
we-
isn't defined.
Is time linear?
I know that's a good
Let's
question.
not go there. I mean,
And time flows ever onward.
so is deja vu actually remembering the past, or is it remembering the future? It's a spiral. So
well,
what do you do?
that's an intriguing question. I look at, it's interesting because I think deja vu is something not so much as past, but I also recognize that my spirit has been on this plane of existence numerous times.
Sure.
I know that. I can feel it in my bones.
It's
Like,
exhausting,
and,
right?
you're lying, man. Because there are things that I just innately know that I know I didn't really learn, but for some reason, I can just pick this up easily. No, this is nothing to me. And then there's something like, I feel like I think past lives are a thing. I'm fairly certain that I have multiple personalities going on in my brain. One is a woman. She always wins every fucking argument. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I think she's my logic base. You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm okay with, because I'm very visual and I'm very artistic. So I assign characters to things. So, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think visualize and attack.
Do you draw?
I do, not very well, because my sense of anatomy is skewed as hell. Everybody has claws. I can only draw one eye, because I only have one eye. So it's very skewed, but I'm more of a writer. I prefer to, I'm a novelist. I'm writing a supernatural thriller. Yeah, it's called Breed. The character is based on me in the book. He definitely believes in Reiki healing. He definitely believes in hypnosis and psychic development. He's one of those people that and I'm firmly of this belief too. I don't think there's anything out of the realm of possibility. I think if you can imagine it, it can be. So
That's what Wayne Dyer used to say.
Yeah, I
That's
don't.
what he said about unicorns.
Right. I think unicorns existed. I think dragons existed. I firmly believe.
mermaids.
Right, all
There's
those.
a reason why they're actually in our minds, in our existence, because
Right.
they do exist
Right.
in another reality.
I have a tailbone, so I'm firmly of the belief that I at one time had a tail. Because what would be better to move along the earth and shepherd the animals than the ability to move along with them? A tail would be perfect for that. Perfect balance, something like take a walk. I love that. I like that idea. You know, but I think that, but again, like I said before, I also don't think that man came before woman. I think that the very first being on earth in Africa was a woman.
Oh, I think I heard about that.
Yeah. Like, I mean, the oldest bones they found are, I mean, it's a pretty much confirmed scientific fact that all life began in Africa. So, and I love Jane Elliott. I don't know if you know who that is. Jane Elliott is the lady, she's very famous for, she was a teacher, she was like a third grade teacher, but she developed a system of teaching kids about intolerance and racial injustice by separating kids based on their eye color. And it's really remarkable. You can find it on YouTube. Just type in Jane Elliott experiment and you will find it. But what she basically showed is that people who are marginalized do horror in school and feel ostracized and weighs on them. And she did it by showing, okay, these kids with the blue eyes and the kids with the brown eyes. It's really the whole experiment. And if you have blue eyes, we treat you this way, and you have brown eyes, we treat you this way. And they were able to disseminate and see. These children were able to see how wrong this is. And it was basically a way for her to try to explain systemic racism to them. And it worked. But then unfortunately there are some people who just wallow in ignorance. Now I don't think ignorance is a lack of intelligence, I think ignorance is the act of ignoring facts. You know, that's why the root word is ignore. You're ignoring facts, ignorant. You know what I'm saying? So if you allow, that's why we have something called blissful ignorance, because you're happy in that. We have to get past that. Gotta be better. But you know, so she's coming. I guess for the question I'll always have is, what psychic abilities can one have? I guess, and how do you attain them, or is it something you're born with?
I think we have them. We just don't know we actually have them.
I think we do too. I genuinely do.
Sometimes we're like, we're doing something, like you said, we could be taking a shower, and then you're thinking about this person, and you're wondering what's going on with them, and then later on you find out that you just had a phone call from them. You know, there's a connection.
You speak it into existence.
Yeah,
so
but that person was calling you, and somehow your wavelengths just connected, and you got the message telepathically, but when you went to look at your phone, you had a missed call from that person.
That's that happens to me. But
So
now is that psychic or is that coincidence?
No, that's psychic. You're picking up that person.
You're picking up that vibe, that wavelength.
Yeah.
So, you know, and again, the reason I ask these questions is because that's a very interesting way of looking at that. Because again, you have to have an open mind to be able to see things that way.
But you could also wonder, did you think of them and they called you? Or was it the other way around?
Right?
You know, you can look at it in any direction you want.
That's
Like,
the other way.
It's omnidirectional.
It is. It is. And
But
I'm sure
or
it's
it could
different
be
every
both.
time.
It could be both. Like
Where does the trigger come from? That's what I'm wondering.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's very interesting. It's very good. Listen, ladies, man, this has been fantastic. Do you have any other events coming up that you want to talk about?
Oh yeah, we do have a lady who's going to come in and she's going to teach about how to use plants
Okay.
for holistic purposes.
Oh, I want to be on that one. I might come to that.
That's going to be an amazing course because she channels into plants.
Right,
And
right.
plants are like her fairies or spirit
Right.
guides.
She soothes.
She connects with them in such a divine way that you have to see about
She's
it.
poison ivy out this month.
Yeah, I don't know. She's beyond that. She's very special when it comes to the plants.
Sounds like somebody I
Yeah.
would love to meet. You're not wrong. Because I love, listen.
Actually, that's one person you should have in your show.
I will listen.
Yeah.
Make the introduction. I would love to. Listen. I'll be honest with you, man. this has been fun. I don't know if I got all the video I wanted. I don't. I mean, but I know I got all the audio I wanted, and I got a lot of the information I wanted. And that was more important to me than anything else. We have to do this again. We will do this.
Definitely. Any topics you want to come up with, we'll definitely.
Listen, no, I like this. Just free flowing conversation, man. Like I don't like coming in something, all prepped and prepared because then that just feels inauthentic. Like I want it to be real. I want you to be able to just be yourself. Like I said, be yourself, have fun. And sometimes when you're scripted, you can't. That takes away that level of spontaneity, and that's not right to me. I want you to be yourself, and I loved being here with you. You all are great. It was fantastic. I loved it. I learned a lot. I'm hoping my viewers, my listeners, they will too, and hopefully they'll come up here and cop from you. You know what I'm saying? Come get a book. Come get some crystals. You know what I'm saying? I got my hematite bracelet on. I'm chilling. You know what I'm saying? It's a wonderful place. You know what I'm saying? And as soon as Shakira told me about it, because I was looking for a sage smudge stick, because I wanted to get rid of some of the negative energy around me. And
Did it work?
I hope so. I believe it did. I believe it did. But the truth is, and this is I guess the weird thing about me, I don't believe in anything. I don't believe in anything. I like knowledge. So if I know it innately works, then I'm with it. No problem. And if I can, because I guess it's the scientist in me. I want to know scientifically how it works. And also, again, I recognize.
And as you see, exactly what the fuck I was saying. In the middle of a fantastic point, or she was, talking about the upcoming events and cut the fuck off. Oh, man. And as you also see, like, this was filmed weeks ago. I actually did film it on the 10th. And, but just with moving and getting everything set up, I didn't get a chance to really edit it, put it together, and do all this for it. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm doing it now. But they are actually still open. They're open. They've got events all the time. You can go to at Crystal Garden Mount Pocono on Instagram and follow them. You know what I'm saying? Just see what they got. I get it. A lot of people are skeptical. And it's difficult not to be sometimes, which I understand. But at the end of the day, sometimes you got to keep an open mind. And I definitely am glad that I have that going for me because it's hard to go through this life where you can't suspend the disbelief in what you think you know and try and see from a different perspective. You might learn something. And I think that's definitely worth it. That's always catch. That's always worth it when you can learn as you grow. And grow. That's not as you grow, but grow. Learn and grow. Damn it. I'm having a time here. Just fucking light. You see the shit. I gotta really set up a whole lighting system and everything. Again, I'm still putting this all together. But no, the Diane and Beth, they were fantastic. They were phenomenal guests. I'm gonna have to have some form of an apparatus where I can get a little bit more soundproofing going when I do things on location, because I definitely want to do that. There's a few of you I want to come and interview. You know what I'm saying? A couple of my folks in Georgia, a couple of my folks in California. If you happen to be in Colorado or Washington State or any of those, you let me know. I'll gladly come and visit. But no, seriously. Just listen, man. Enjoy this. I'm not gonna take up too much more of y'all time. I'm gonna let them finish it out, close it out. And listen, this was fun, man. This is episode 4 of the Just to Be Frank podcast. And what I'm going to work on is securing a guest, securing a co-host, because I think I genuinely need a co-host. So if you are out there and you live in Pennsylvania or the tri-state area, New York, New Jersey, whatever, Connecticut, hit me up. If you want to co-host the Just to Be Frank podcast, I mean, I don't have any prerequisites for that. Obviously, somebody who's prettier than me would help, because nobody really wants to look at this all day. But yeah, somebody who's definitely like, I would like a female. That would be awesome for the opposing perspective. And just because there are things that I wouldn't even fathom that a young lady might. So, yeah, man. So, I'm going to send you back to the Crystal Garden for a few, and I'll be back to close this son bitch out. See you in a minute.
Ladies, I want to thank you ever so much for sitting down with me. I appreciate you. This was fun. I enjoyed it. We got to do this again. Here, my studio, whatever. We'll do it. Next time, I gotta respect the sanctity of this place. But in my studio, we can smoke pot. So, you may not be down. She seems like she's alright with that.
I don't know. I talking about really weird stuff.
Have you ever smoked weed?
Yeah, it makes me too mellow.
Well, that might be because you have an indica. You might be a sativa. A sativa is more of a mind high, whereas an indica is more for relaxation in the body. Then there, of course, there are hybrids. But what happens is, I find when I smoke a sativa, I get my most innovative ideas. I'm able to deeply more meditate, because it allows me to traverse the astral plane.
And then there's one that just makes you very paranoid. Which one's that one?
That's all of them.
That's all of them.
Yeah, cannabis in itself is something that kind of makes you paranoid, but I think the paranoia is a good thing because paranoia allows you to stay on your toes. Especially in this world, you need to be able to have all 17 of your senses going. You know what I'm saying? I know they only say 5, but in this place you need senses 7 to 10. You know what I'm saying? And I think that a little bit of paranoia is good for it. And then martial arts is a good way to kind of express that and then get past the paranoia to where you have the ability to be able to say, I'm not so much paranoid, but how with your fucking ass. Jiu-jitsu is awesome. I think, and I firmly believe that every young lady should learn it. Or some martial art. And I think every young lady should know how to defend herself. I don't know how y'all feel about guns, but for a long time, I was anti. I bought my first gun with this thing. But I rue the day I ever had to use it. Because I know for a fact not only am I going to need therapy, but that would be a deep strike against my spirit and my energy because I'm taking the essence away from something else. I'm okay with hunting, but I am not okay with hunting humans, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? I think hunting is a wonderful thing because I don't think we as humans are designed to go to the store and buy food. Our natural inclination is as hunter-gatherers. We're designed to go out there and get our shit. That's it. That's it. We're going to leave it at that. Diane, Beth, I thank you again for being here so much. Thank you for joining me on the Just to Be Frank podcast. You ladies have been wonderful. I learned a lot. We're going to do this again. You're very welcome. We're going to do this again. Shout out your social media. Tell everybody how to find you if they want to, get in touch with you.
Sure. So you can find Crystal Garden at Facebook, Crystal Garden Mount Pocono.
And so there you have it. That was my interview with the ladies from the Crystal Garden. Diane and Beth were phenomenal guests. And as you see, again, you could just see it, the way I set up the shot, everything, I did everything wrong in a way that I didn't enjoy. But as far as the company and the conversation and everything, it was awesome. I loved it. As I said, I'm a natural skeptic when it comes to certain things, especially when it comes to people claiming they're psychic or things of that nature. But
I appreciated that they were able to address those concerns. And look, I was satisfied with the answers they provided. And I'm more than comfortable with recommending their shop to go and enjoy the experience, learn something. Even if you are skeptical, give it a shot anyway. Try it. Prove it to yourself whether, it's shit or not. You know what I mean? But at the very least, go in with an open mind and an open heart. And you might find that you enjoy the experience that much more. So again, I want to thank Diane and Beth for their time and their patience in this, because I'm hoping they'll enjoy this. I think they're gonna like this, truthfully, because one thing I try to do, and I'm not gonna have you on as a guest if I don't believe in what you do, or if I don't even trust you as a person. I trust these ladies. They seem very warm and genuine to me, so I'm good with that. Especially and again, nowadays there's a lot of strife, turmoil. Everybody's focused on the parlor tricks and the presidency and all this shit. Listen, I'll tell you right now, man. I think it would be best if everybody just kind of stepped back from that for the moment. Stop watching the news for the time being. Just take a break. That shit is in November. It's not even the end of September, and I'm already sick of this shit, man. And I promise you, all of you are too. You're tired of the fucking misinformation. You're tired of Facebook lying to you, and the news lying to you, and the media lying to you, and the president lying to you. Like, you're just tired of everybody lying to you. You know what I'm saying? And I get it. I'm with you 100%. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with these people. I don't know what's wrong with their minds. Any of them. But the sad thing is, we're the reason, because we allow it. You know what I mean? I don't care. Like I said before, I don't care who you vote for. I don't care where you're from. None of that matters to me. What matters to me is how you treat me. I treat you. That's it. Everything else is a moot point. I'll be honest with you. I am not a supporter of this president. I don't approve of him as a human being. I don't think he honors this country in the way that I think he should. And I've learned enough about human nature, and I've learned enough about humans to know when somebody is wrong. But I also know what a puppet is. So take from that what you will. My name is Frank Starfire. This is the Just to Be Frank podcast. I want to thank you for joining me. I appreciate you hearing me out. I appreciate you watching for this long. Hopefully you have. I don't even know if you have. I hope you have. It was great. I enjoyed this, but it's my goal to come to you more often and make sure I'm more consistent. So we're gonna do just that. I want to bang out at least an episode a week, and hopefully I can get some guests in here to enjoy that with me. If you would like to assist me in getting the Just to Be Frank podcast off the ground and running full time, feel free to donate. There should be a link right there at the bottom of the screen for you. If not, you can find me on Spotify, the Just to Be Frank podcast, and there's a button for donations there. Got Cash App. I take cryptocurrency. At the end of the day, truth is, I don't do this for the money. I do this because I care, and I do this because I want to. But money helps. So I got bills to pay, man. I mean, cable's expensive. Not cable. Internet is apparently very expensive.
Who knew? So you know, if you like what you hear, if you like what you're watching, then like, subscribe, share, and let's keep doing it, man. Word up. Frankly speaking, I think this was a success. I enjoyed this. I got my new camera, so I'll be setting it up and making it look nice. You'll be able to see my whole little studio here. You know what I'm saying? My lighting will be much better. I'll have more soundproofing. Everything's going to be screamy, man. It's going to be great. And I thank you for joining me on the Just to Be Frank podcast. You all have yourselves a blessed day, a blessed night. I love you. Be good. One love.
You know what's going on, man. I'm a little Frank Starfire.
Nice to meet you.
And, I'm a simple guy, and I live my life by really simple means, you know what I mean? And, I live by simple mottos and creeds.